for anybody who's watching remotely. The meeting proceeds will be recorded and available online at the conclusion. I'd like to call this meeting to order at 7 p.m. Please stand with me for the Pledge of Allegiance. 6:30 p.m. Sorry. Thank you. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. The clerk is charged with asking the citizens of Avon Township to elect a moderator who will be responsible for overseeing the rest of this meeting. That said, I call for nominations for a moderator from the floor. I'd like to nominate Travis Haley.
I'll second Travis.
Thank you.
A motion by Repa, a second by Kearney. Are there any other nominations from the floor? Any discussion? Hearing none, I will now call for a vote to close nominations. All those in favor, please signify by saying aye or yes.
Aye.
All those opposed? The motion is carried. Mr. Haley, please join us. Please raise your right hand and repeat after me. I, Travis J. Haley,
I, Travis James Haley,
do solemnly swear
do solemnly swear
that I will faithfully and impartially discharge
I will faithfully and impartially discharge
the duties of moderator of this town meeting
the duties of moderator of this town meeting
to the best of my ability.
to the very best of my ability.
The signatures.
Okay. Thank you everyone for coming in. And also thank you for appointing me as the moderator. Next up is number 6, the approval of the minutes of the prior town hall meeting and special town hall meeting. Anyone need to take any few minutes to read? If not, could I get a motion and a second?
Motion.
Motion by Ripa,
I'll second.
second by Baldwin. Is there any corrections that need to be made towards the minutes? Hearing none, question is, shall the minutes of the prior town hall meeting be passed and approved? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It is in the opinion of the chair that the ayes have it and the motion is agreed to.
We did have minutes from 2 separate meetings. Oh, you're correct.
Okay. All right. Next up is number 7. Clerk shall present supervisor annual financial statement.
So a copy of the Avon Township Treasurer's Report for fiscal year ending 2/28/23 has been provided in writing in all of the packets that were distributed. I would humbly ask the chair call for a motion to waive reading tonight.
So moved. Oh, sorry, I can't do that individually. Motion is motion by Ripa,
Second.
second by Carney.
Right.
Doug.
Crystal does.
Yeah. I'm just trying to say Doug, if that's all right. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. Okay, next up, moderator shall introduce the township board. First up, we have Supervisor Michelle Ballman. Second, she's not here at the moment, but Clerk Cindy Bross, I'm sorry, Assessor Cindy Bross. And for our township trustees, we have Trustee Rudy Ripa, Trustee Michael Dobrow, Trustee Jeff Lafredo, and Trustee Jeannie Kirby. And for the highway supervisor, who's on my left, is Bob Pula. All right, next up, the moderator shall introduce the presenters.
Did you forget somebody?
Oh, I called the meeting to order. It's not listed there, and I'm not part of the town board technically.
Technically. Next up is for item number 9, the moderator to introduce presenters. First up will be supervisor's report. Supervisor Bowman, you have the floor.
Thank you. So I'm going to start off. One of my favorite things to do is to invite people to the township. So when they come to the township, I love giving tours. That's kind of how Bob ended up here tonight. Again, surprised me. I love when people come to the township because I'm able to show them what we're doing. Because when I just do a presentation, it's flat and means nothing. So what I did today, I actually opened up the window. For people who've never seen this, come out, field trip, guys, come on. What I want you to do is I want you to see the changes that are being made in the backyard, and all the changes are being made by youth in our community right now. Since last year, we've added a trail that goes from the parking lot. Before, there was no trail or entrance that you were able to go to Cranberry Lake. Either you had to park in the townhomes, you had to park in the residential areas. Now people are able to park in the parking lot, and they're able to follow a trail that goes behind our new outdoor classroom, which was built by a boy who's going to be an Eagle Scout. And now people have access to go around the trail, which is a little over a mile long. We have a dog stick library for dogs that go on a walk with their owners. They're able to get a stick and play fetch. And again, these are just fun ideas that we have, that youth are trying to, make our backyard a little bit better. We've added a lot more community gardens this year. So we have more residents that are going to be able to grow their own vegetables. I'm also working with the University of Illinois Extension through their 4-H program, where children ages, I think it's like 6 to 11, it's not close to that, they're going to be able to, they're going to learn how to garden with the Master Gardeners this year, and all the vegetables that they grow is going to go into the food pantry. And so that's a win-win, because the kids are going to learn how to grow vegetables, and then they're going to be able to take the vegetables, and they're going to be able to wash the vegetables and actually bring them into the food pantry and see where residents in our food pantry will be able to get fresh vegetables. So that's the one problem with our food pantry. Our food pantry is 100% dependent upon the community. We don't get food from restaurants. We don't get food from grocery stores because we're not a 501c3 where it's a township food pantry. And the reason that is because my employee, Isaac, who's our caseworker, but he's more than that, he would not be able to access the food pantry and for me to be able to use him the way I would like if it was a 501c3. So the community has been such an important part this year. What they're doing right now is they're changing the way people are going to view the township, because the more I'm able to get people into the township and give tours, that's why, again, with Bob being here, come here, learn about the township, learn about the resources that we have, and then you're able to go back and tell other people in the community. So this is not really normally where I start my tour, but I want you guys to see the vision, because on last Saturday, we had almost 450 youth participate in our Easter egg hunt. And we had 22 different resource, social service agencies or government agencies that were able to be a part of our Easter egg hunt. So the more people that I'm able to engage in the community, then the more people I'm going to be able to help. Because if they don't come to our office, then they don't realize the resources that we have. So when I normally start my tour, I start talking about how we're kind of like a highway. People come into our office and they're not sure which way to go. They don't know how to get help. They don't know what agency to go to, or even if we can help them. And so what we do is we talk with them and figure out what is the best place for you, what's the best agency. Because what happens is there's 211 is the Lake County 911 for social services. And we are always getting those phone calls. But the problem is people think that we're gonna save them, that we are their last resource. So before they could even possibly get any form of financial aid from us, we need to make sure that they talk to Catholic Charities. Hello. And all the other organizations that we have. But again, having this backyard, this year we're going to be able to have concerts, we're going to be able to have community events. I have a preschool that's going to be doing camp here. The Round Lake Park District is coming here. Birth to 5 school is already, or like their enrichment program is already meeting here. So the more people that I'm able to get into this office, is more people that's going to tell everybody else what's going on. So we'll talk about our office a little bit. So I think about caseworker. You'll see there's a lot of other things in our community. So he's the first line of defense for support. When people come in, Isaac will meet with them, he'll talk with them and try to figure out what resources that we can help them with. Some of the resources that we have that are in our office, we do prescription discount card. Oh, you can sit down now.
Okay.
I'll give you another tour later on. We do handicap placard cards, we do books, we do voter registration. Crystal does notary, we do medical equipment, we have resource assistance, we do micro sharing, we do live heat, we do copying, we do faxing, help people, we get reduced rates for the RTA, online license renewal, benefit access programs, low income energy assistance. People, we have a lot of seniors that come into our area. And one of the programs that we're starting this year is we're going to be starting more senior resources, because I'm very active in the community with youth. If there's a youth program, I'm probably a part of it. But one area that I did lack in the past 2 years was providing senior programs. And after looking at the number of seniors that come in here, we knew that's something that we had to change. So early in the year, we did Coffee with a Cop event, and it was about senior scams. And we had a bunch of seniors come to learn about senior scams. And that same week, we had 2 people that got scammed. One person, Isaac was actually out of town that day, and I kept saying, you know, your caseworker is going to help you, your caseworker could help you, until I realized that it was too late. 24 hours earlier, he was already getting scammed. Luckily, we had a police officer happen coming into our office, and we were able to stop his account. We were able to do all the steps that were needed. And so that was kind of like a light bulb to me about senior services. And so since then, we have, working with Catholic Charities, we have, I think, 3 to 4 events that we're doing every month for the next 8 months. We have out, we're working with University of Illinois Extension to provide senior programs. We are going to be having a senior day here. We haven't figured out what day it is, where we're going to have, where seniors are going to be able to come and socialize. But then again, they're going to be able to get resources from us, but also build up friendship, build up the community. We're trying to connect 7 different municipalities together. Because a lot of times people think that Avon Township is just for the Round Lake area, and it's not. Avon Township is for 7 different municipalities, and we got to make sure that we're talking about that. One of my favorite senior events that we did last month was high school students were teaching seniors how to use their phone. And that's a very, very popular. They want to have a lot more classes, because who knows how to use cell phones more than high schoolers. But the best part of the program was, it was intergenerational. The seniors were learning from the high school students, but somewhere that 2 hours, they started talking to each other. They started learning about each other. And that was another clue to me. As much as I'm very active with our youth and our teenagers, what kind of programs can the seniors offer to our youth, and what kind of programs can our youth or our teenagers help our seniors? So right now I'm working with 2 different schools, different high schools, to figure out what kind of programs that we could plan, not just for this year, but for next year. Because as the population grows, as we all know, senior programs are going to be more and more in need. And a lot of townships have the money to have senior centers or to have senior programs. We have very little funds, but what we do have is community relationships. That is one thing that I'm very good at. I'm not the person who should be in my office all day, because that's not my greatest skill. One of my skills is going out, meeting people, inviting people here. One of my big philosophies is, if this building is empty, then it's just an empty building, it's just a building. But I'm able to bring different resources here and fill my building up, or fill the township up every single day, then I'm building a community center. And that's what I really want to do. And something so trivial as a changing table and stepping stools is something that we added this year. Because what happens if we are providing children programs such as the Birth to 5, and they have to change their baby? We don't have a changing table. So for a very little bit amount of money, we now have a changing table. We do cooking classes here for like 7-year-olds and up. Something as simple as a step stool. Now they're able to wash their hands a little bit more. And so what I'm trying to do is build Avon Township to be a place that people could come for resources, people could come for community events, people could use our room if it's a homeowners association. We don't charge, because your taxes are paying for this building, and you should be able to use this building. And I'm always going to say, okay, you want to provide a program, what do you want to teach? What do you want to do? So I'm just building a community center is my goal. In this backyard, I'm very excited about, because it's a way, again, for people to be able to see what we do. One of my big deals last year, over the summertime, was when Home Depot selected us to be their community partner, and they donated flooring. So we took a room that was not in great shape, and they donated all the laminated floor, and Bob and his team put in the flooring. It's a nice room now. It's a bigger room. It's a place where we could have more community activities, more community events. And that's what I'm trying to do here, and that's what the board is trying to do here. We're trying to figure out how we could use this building, what kind of resources we can, that our community needs. Our community needs a lot of resources. We have Brad Schneider's office comes here once a week. We have Motto a Motto. I'm working on other organizations that will be coming into our office too. All they need is a space. And what it does, if they have regular hours, then the community knows. If I want to talk to Brad Schneider's office about Social Security or something that's going on in the federal level, people are able to come here. But we don't limit it to Avon Township. I mean, a lot of our resources, if it comes to our money, then it's definitely township to township. You have to be a township resident. But if we're having events and we're having a senior program, I want people to come here. I want people to be a part of Avon Township and have that message as, hey, this is what's going on in Avon Township. We do diaper programs. We have 2 different programs. We have one program that we provide for people who are income level, low enough income level that we're able to provide them diapers. One package of diapers is not going to make it for them for their whole month for their baby. But what it does do, it makes it a little bit easier to maybe to get to their next check. And we do the same thing for seniors. We have donations. People love giving to Avon Township, and I get so excited because every day I never know what I'm going to be getting. You're laughing.
I know. I
Because-
see your office and whoa.
But that's okay, the thing is, because the more people that donate, it's costing the township less money, it's costing the community less, because people want to donate. One of my big deals this year is getting shelving in the food pantry. It's only been about a month. The people who saw my food pantry before, the township food pantry before, we were living in banana boxes. And that was how people were getting their food. But you know something? That's all we had. We had no money in our budget for a food pantry. We had no money to help the community. But we did have banana boxes, and we had donations. I had a Boy Scout who built 2 food donation boxes every day. It's so much fun to open up the box and see what's in there. The community believes in Avon Township. That message is getting out. And the more the board, the more myself, the more we keep talking about Avon Township and all the services that we provide, the more people we are able to serve. Let's see, we have flood mitigation equipment. We have our lending closet is huge. we have a medical lending plaza that has wheelchairs and walkers and knee scooters and all these type of equipment that you don't have to go out and spend. It's there for you, and then when people don't need it anymore, they give it back to us, and then when they have extra equipment, they give it to us. And that is the whole point of what my vision with this community center is, that we support each other. I cannot tell you how many thousands and thousands of dollars in food we're getting from the community, the school districts, the park districts, Girl Scouts, Boy Scouts. Random people just come to our office and donate food. There are stories of people who are now doing much better, and they come here because they say, I remember when there was a food pantry here and it helped me. I remember when. I have people who drive from, like, I think it was Beach Park, which is not close to here, guys. But they brought food because they had extra food. We have, every other Saturday, we have something, an organization called Community Action Partners. And we work with them doing a mobile food drive. We average about 105 cars in about 2 hours. It is put in the bag, go, put in the bag, go. But when we have extra food, we make extra bags and make sure that they're getting extra vegetables or fruit or anything that we have extra of. Because imagine, every 2 weeks, a Community Action Partners, all they needed was a place for them to have their drive-through. You know what I said? Heck yes. When Keeping Families Covered wanted to do a mobile diaper mobile,
Diaper truck.
a truck, I said, we'll have it at Avon Township. You know why? Because it gets more people into our office, gets more people into the building, and then because we do have food right now, which is a wonderful thing, those people who are getting diapers from Keeping Family Covered are able to get food from our food pantry. So we are working with each other. So the more resources I have, the more people I connect with, the better the township's going to be. I'm on an Alliance for Human Services, which is an organization, works with probably almost every organization in Lake County. And I'm able to connect with them, and we're able to figure out how they can help me and how I can help them. So my job is really, I'm in charge of the budget. I'm the treasurer. But you know something, that doesn't take that much time. And we have a great accountant. My job as supervisor is to constantly go out into the community and say, Avon Township, this is what we are. We are more than that blue building that people pass and they have no idea what it is. So again, I love giving tours. I love telling people what Avon Township is all about and all the new things that are happening. And I can't wait to see all the new changes that's up and coming that I have planned or that people want to be a part of it. My latest one is I have a grief group that's going to be starting next month. And this started actually a few months ago, but we didn't work it out at the time, was I had a friend commit suicide. And I posted on Facebook how to deal with it in different situations, and people started sharing and things like that. And somebody mentioned there's not a lot of grief support groups out here. And so what I did was I reached out to some groups, and Willow House will be coming here once a month, and they'll be having, and again, she's like, is it just for Avon Township? And I'm like, no, it's for anybody that needs resources. Anybody that needs help, if they can't, get it here, we're gonna tell them where to go. And we do tell some people, come back here. If you're not getting the service that you want, let's see what other resources that we can help you with. We have people that come here that have been abused. We have sometimes horrible situations. Situations that we hear from the school, situations we hear from the police. We never know who's gonna be walking in that door. But I'll tell you, our caseworker is there to make sure that we can help them do the best that we possibly can. Sometimes we don't know what happens to them. And sometimes they come back with great stories, but because they were helped. They were helped. And that's all we could do, is just provide resources for people. And so anybody who has connections to any other organization, let me know. Let me give them a tour. Let me show them what Avon Township's all about. Let's figure out how we could work together because that's my plan for the next 2 years, is just to keep on building upon resources and community together, because we are Avon Township. We are 7 municipalities, about 63,000 people. We all have skills. That outdoor classroom was built by a 16-year-old, now he's 17. The community came out. The community came out. We didn't even know who they were, but they came out to help us build it. We had people come out to help us build so many different things in the food pantry. I have volunteers. I have ladies every Wednesday and Friday, and we're building up more resources. They are faithful. They come at 9 o'clock, they stay until 12. They'll stay longer if people need help. And that's what I'm trying to build up. People who have the same philosophy as us, a caring, loving township that's there to help you. And, so Jessica today, I'm going to give a compliment to Jessica. We had a lady that came into the office, and she was coming to see, actually, Isaac. But she was a senior, and Jessica was like, let me see if you could get senior exemptions. So that was wonderful. She came in for one reason, but because of the assessor's office, we were able to see if we could help her with senior exemptions, because that's something that people don't always thinking about. They're thinking about food, they're thinking about clothing, they're thinking about, my placard, I get, if they qualify, they could get their driver's license little sticker for like $10 instead of like $170. Because they hear about that from their friends. But if their friends don't tell them everything else that Avon Township offers, then they're missing out. So I really, that was great. That was for Jessica to reach out to one of our residents is great. So building up that partnership is something that we need to do. I know I talked a lot. Do you guys have any questions about Avon Township at all, or what I'm doing as supervisor? And again, I love giving tours, so let people mention. And here and there. But if not, if you guys need my card or my information, let me know. So, thank you.
Thank you, Supervisor.
Before we continue, can I have my new arrivals please sign in for the town hall portion of the meeting? Thank you.
Also, let the record reflect that our new assessor, Cindy Bruss, just arrived along with trustee Jeannie Kirby. Next up for presentations is the Highway Department report. Supervisor Kulo, you have the floor.
I'm going to ask you guys to have a look at the screen.
That work?
That works? That works fine. Thank you. Just rehash everything that went on in 2022. So roadway improvements for last year, for our last fiscal year, included Cedar Lane, Forest Avenue, Hickory Lane, and Poplar Avenue were preliminary surface jobs. Original cost $90,000, and the final construction cost was $89,160. There's some before and after pictures. Cedar, and there's Cedar after. And this is Hickory. It's a little. These are little artery roads that go into Long Lake. Hickory is off Fairfield Road. And then here's completed. Right about this. Oh, it's skewed. There's Forest. So this is the straightaway up of Forest. It's off of coming off of Fairfield Road, heading west. The back of the end of the neighborhood, where you see the road make the turn up ahead to the left. That was done in 2015. This is the final portion of Forest that got the complete preliminary surface for that road and that rest of the neighborhood. And there's the completed portion of it. And here's another one of our smaller dead end roads that come off of Fairfield Road and Poplar. And there's the completed one. And so the roadway improvements for this year, we have Town Line Road from Fairfield Road west to the dead end, That was scheduled last year, but we had some, we had some issues with Round Lake. Not with Round Lake, but we just wanted things to get squared away with what was going to go on with the property over there before we proceed. So, and then we have the Nippersink Bridge repair, portions of Wilson Road and Clinton. Mill and resurface the crown on portions of Lake Shore, and I'll show you those coming up. So here's Town Line Road, the portion that we're talking about. That probably hasn't been paved, and I can't tell you how long it's been. Here's Nippersink Bridge. You can see on the left there where the portion that we're addressing, the concrete was breaking away there. Go ahead. And that's the other side, the east side. And here's some of the ways that it's going to be repaired from the contractor. We're using, this is just an example. So that's riprap, if everybody's not familiar with riprap, just a big limestone. And then Gabion baskets. These Gabion baskets are also going to be used on the side to shore up the sides of the river, of the creek bank, so it doesn't erode anymore. And then this is like a completed Gabion basket. They actually fill them up with stone beforehand, and then they just set them in the machine and get them on the side to stop any further erosion from the property. Now this is just really, this is not permanent. This is something that's going to be, it's just going to be for the next 5 or 6 years or so, until hopefully our grant comes through from Nippersink, and then we can, then we're talking about a whole new culvert that goes underneath the road. And along with the other improvements that will be done in Nippersink. Go ahead. And then here's Clinton, just another Clinton Road. This is Clinton at Hillside heading east to the dead end. And here's another road that we're going to be doing, Wilson. This is the other part of Wilson Road. Go ahead. And then here's Lakeshore. The road, we're trying to hold off on the rest of the road right now because it's just such a long road. But we do have a problem with the crown that we've been having for a while now. We did some crack sealing throughout the road to hold that off, but the crown has been falling apart. It's been an issue for a while. So while the contractor's out there doing the other roads, and it's right around the corner, it's virtually, there's no new mobilization. They're going to be right around the corner on Wilson. We're going to have them run a strip right down with the mill, take out the crown and put a new crown. Just save a lot of money actually just by doing that for now. That'll hold off the road for a while. And here's some other examples of the crown failing. You can see we've been patching it, but it needs to be milled out and paved. We had the crown never held up on this road for some reason. We had a problem with that. I know back in 2 highway commissioners ago, when it was originally done, the pave was done in I think November, so I think that probably might have been a contributor to it. All right, then new vehicles. We bought we've had this last fiscal year a couple Ford pickup and a new service body truck that we needed badly. I think we've talked about these in the past, but I just wanted to go over that one more time. And then we auctioned off the vehicles. There's the pickup we got. And here's our service body truck with that goes out and plows. We have, the guys came up with this setup here to put these, because with the service body, it's a little bit different when the V-Box goes in there. This body doesn't lift. So because it doesn't lift, when they dump salt in there, if you don't have those sides on there, the salt falls in between. You still get salt in there, but that really cuts it back. So now when they dump with the loader and put salt in there, it falls off the side instead of going in between the box and the salt spreader. The box is lined, in addition to that. But this is just another way to keep that salt out there. And then mosquito control, we're doing that again. We do that, every year. We'll be getting, I think this year we're only getting 1 box of larvicide from the health department. We can get 2, but I think their funding is down. So we're going to be getting, we'll have enough, hopefully we're for 1 round between what we have left over from last year and what we're gonna get from them this year, but we all have to get certified again. We have to do that every year, so we can handle the solid larvicide. And here's the trees that we took care of this year. There's a number of them there, just an example. Go ahead. There's one that was just in the middle of the road one night.
Hey, when that happens.
Yeah, it happens quite often, actually. Salt contract for 2022, 2023. We used about 500 tons. Quantity for this fiscal year coming up, we're ordering 900. I normally wouldn't order that much, especially since our bins are full right now. But the contract with the county has changed now. So in the past, if we ordered 900, we'd have to take 80%. We're committed to 80, so we'd have to take 720 tons. This year, it's 25%. So we have a little bit more leeway with the minimum amount that we need to take. So. And there's the winter events, how many we responded to this year. A little bit down from last year. Last year, I think, was in the low 20s. Previous to that, much more, but the last couple of years have been a little mild. We still go out for these ice events, these little salt jobs, where we have to go out and salt the roads when we get a little bit of snow, and we still get those. So those are the ones that add up to get to that number, and those are the ones that actually use the salt. If we have events that are like heavier snow, we're not using salt all the time. We're just out there plowing, taking care of the intersections, and then salting at the end. So these little guys that we have to continue to go out for, those are the ones that use up the salt. Other responsibilities, things that we take care of, aside from the normal things that we do, replace the culverts, roll it right of ways. Township center we take care of here. And we also take care of the town, I guess it's the township cemetery now, Fort Hill. We mow that every week and take care of, just the upkeep to the cemetery. And go ahead, that's okay. And then regrading ditches, we do that. That happens every year. Just as silt gets into the ditches, we need to clean them out. So that happens every year, just like a regular thing we have to do. And clean curb grates and storm basins. We'll actually have our first curb sweep from LRS. That's going to be next week. They'll come by from after the winter, and we get that first curb clean. We just do the curved roads, any roads that are that don't have a curb, and we have ditches, and the stuff usually works its way out to the side, but the curbs need to be clean so those inlets all that stuff doesn't get into the storm system and clog it up, and then it's more efficient when it rains. Go ahead. And then in-house equipment repairs, we take care of, actually, as the years go by, we're taking care of more and more of that. You'll see that our line for that for repair, is going down. That's twofold, because we're doing more repairs in-house, and then we have newer trucks. So we don't have, instead of spending the money on all these repairs constantly, we're replacing the trucks and having trucks that are more we can count on. And then cold patch, that's a normal thing, and reporting combat streetlight outages. And here's just a job that this is something that things like this we're doing every summer. And our intergovernmental agreements are all being renewed. We do the snow plowing for the village of Third Lake, and we do some roads for the village of Graves Lake. It's the same roads every year for the village of Graves Lake. They have a number of contractors, but we're one of them that has that does some snow plowing for them. And then Haynesville, we store their salt. They do not have the storage capacity for salt because they do have a well over there over at their public works department. There's strict guidelines about how far a well has to be away from a salt, and even if it's under roof, they have a little crunch area over there. So we've been storing salt over for quite a few years now. And we have an IGA with the village of Third Lake. We do road maintenance for them. stormwater system, we do installation for them. We also do storm cleanup if they are in need of that. And MFT, these are funds these are balances of money that you won't typically see on our balance sheet because these are held by the county. So our MFT balance right now 43.7, and a monthly average we bring in around 2,700. We use that. Motor fuel tax can be used for a few things, but there's a number of things you can use. But we typically use it for purchasing salt, or this year we'll use it for a road project. So if we use to use MFT funds for a road project, we have to go use the county for engineering. So we'll go out to bid. So this won't be enough money to do paving, but we can use this and still use the county for engineering to pay the balance out of our normal funds that we use for road repair. And then RBI, we're at 30,343. We've gotten the last payment out of that, so that'll be done. That's also held by the county, so that's where we stand on that one. So there will be no more replenishing on that one. So we have like 73,000 or so. Okay, 73,000 or so total, 2,700 a month. So they'll continue to come in, and it'll help offset the cost of the road projects for this year. So at the end of the fiscal, we stood at Road and Bridge. Beginning balance was 291, and ending was 264. We attribute that to purchases of new vehicles and Permanent Hard Road, 847, 403, and then our ending balance is up. I would say significantly from that. We're saving money there for Nippersink and for that major project that we hope is going to come through with the grant. So that's where we are with those. And here's typical what we get throughout the year: 447 phone calls, visits from me, and emails. That's what happens throughout the year. And that's it. Any questions?
Thank you, Bob.
Nice job. Do that.
Now we're gonna go forward.
Supervisor Kuma. Now I would like to have the assessor or new assessor, and it's Cindy Bruss, commence her report as well. You have the floor.
Hi, I'm Cindy Bruss, I'm the new appointed assessor. I don't really have much to say, just that I was appointed in December and just been working really hard. This is our quad year, so we are reassessing all of Avon Township, which is a little over about 27,000 parcels. So, and everybody who got a benefit, as I call it, from the board because they appealed, the last 3 years, that will all be gone. And so we're basically starting out fresh. Scary thing this year will be is all the sales that have been coming through here. A lot of the sales are going double, sometimes triple what they're really worth, is what we have valued at. So a lot of people are going to be seeing a lot of increases. We're also seeing that maybe the taxing bodies will be, increasing their levies. So that means this might be the first time in history, as I talked about the chief assessor, saying that values are going up and the tax rate go up. So this might be a very scary year. So this might be a very strong year for people to be appealing. So what the process is like right now we're doing all the senior freezes. We're trying to get all the seniors to get their freezes in, get their senior exemptions, any disability, the veterans exemptions, make sure that they have that all in place, because next year's tax bill, we'll have an increase of 8,000 for the general, and we're going to have 8,000 for the senior. So instead of the 6,000 and 5,000, they would be getting 16 off of their assessment, and then the tax rates apply. Hopefully the tax rate won't go up. Then in May we'll get our tax bill, which was for last year's assessments, and then we're looking probably August, September for the new blue assessments to come out, and that's where the new values are going to come out. And My job is to make sure everybody is at the 33 1/3 from the last 3 years of sales. And with bringing in the last 2 years, we might be increasing a little bit more. So we'll see how that goes. And then after the blue letter comes out, then we will be doing our appeals. And I have a pretty strong gut feeling that it might be good because we might be able to fight all the people appealing because of all the high sales we've got. I was just going through a little, we've done like over 5,861 permits that were entered within the last 2 years. Just this year alone, we've had 2,191. So I'm looking at maybe 60% of the 2,000 are ones that add value. So we'll have to make sure those get on the books before the new assessments come out, so we can start getting, getting some more money from them. Other than that, I was just gonna say about the permits and about the new assessments for the seniors. We had from January 1st of 20 to December of 31, 22, which are the sales I'm using for my sales ratio, we had 2,970 sales. So there's been quite a bit of sales within the last 3 years. So we'll just wait to see what that has in store for us for new assessments. Any questions? Thanks.
Thank you, Assessor Gross. And next up on our report presentation will be Clerk Crystal Larson.
Thank you. A copy of the report's included in all the packets for take joint. But I wanted to touch on a couple of the highlights here. The prior year, we had my office is committed to getting through all the policies and continuing the work of Trustee Kirby and her role as clerk here in the past. I was happy to say that with the assistance of Megan Mack and the cooperation of the board, we were able to get over 50 written pages worth of policies revised, updated, and on the books for the township, and set a schedule for being able to revise those and review them on an annual basis or biannual basis based on the type of policy in place. Talked about doing record maintenance. Continued to do a lot of the digitization process at no additional cost. We've got agendas and minutes now going back all the way to 1989 that are available online and freely browsable. That's all been added. 89 through 2013 has been added in the past year. Board packets from the past 2 years are now available for people to download, so you can browse that content on a monthly basis. And I'm reviewing some options for digitizing some of the older bound books that we have. So we do still have some old ledgers that they're handwritten, so I want to make sure that when we make those efforts, they're done in a way that preserves the original bound books as best as possible. From a FOIA perspective, I've had 24 requests from 9 different requesters this past year. Over 40 categories of documents were requested, resulted in over 1,000 pages of documents that were returned to those requesters. Over 6 gigabytes of data was streamed to them that was not returned via email or some physical mechanism. One FOIA was denied simply for lack of communication. There was a follow-up request that was never provided back. I had one objection filed against the township with the Attorney General's office, but no violation of FOIA was found in that objection. The average turnaround time was 4.67 days. That includes allotments for extensions for some of the large requests we received. Some other notable activities provided more than 40 hours of direct internal IT support, resulting in over $4,000 in cost savings from our IT vendor. That includes the process where we sourced, purchased, configured, and installed new laptops for the supervisor, clerk, and assessor's office. They continue to assist people at Highland Lake and some of the HOAs in facilitating some of their meetings. Sometimes the HOAs that have won for 15 years, we require somebody from the outside to come in and kind of moderate a little bit on some of those contentious issues. So continue to provide that service as well. We'll continue over the next year to reduce paper use and storage requirements. One of the initiatives this year has been to work with the State Archivist and the Local Records Act to get all of the old documents, old check stubs from the 1970s, 80s, and 90s, get the approval to get that all cleaned up, get all of that processed through. So been in a big process of purging old records and getting our closet cleaned out a little bit, because more donations, need a place to keep them. So that's what's been going on, and I'll open the floor to questions.
Good way of cleaning up the closet.
Now, more things are moving into that closet.
Is there any questions? Okay. Thank you all for your reports. Next up is a motion to set next year's annual town meeting for 6:30 PM on April the 9th, 2024. Just want to say for the record, you might have noticed online that there was a misprint that it said from 2023. So we're just correcting that now for the record. That was just a simple mistype there. Is there a motion? Motion by Doug, second by Kirby. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed? It's in the opinion of the chair that the ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. Is there any other business as necessary? Hearing none. Next up is public comment. Is there anyone who wishes to make any public comments? Yes, Doug.
I would like to commend Supervisor Bauman for her outreach to the community and involvement in the community and bringing respect back to the township that the township hasn't had for God knows how long with the prior, I don't even want to think about the prior supervisor, but we're making it a model for the county and for the state, which is good.
Thank you, Doug. Is there anyone else? I just want to make a quick comment of my own here. Within the past year, the board passed a balanced budget. It was partially work with the finance committee, but it was also a group effort with everyone working together, first and foremost. And coming up, hopefully, within the next month or next special board meeting, if it passes, we'll hopefully have another balanced budget because we've been having boards actually sitting down in the room and working with each other. That is one of the most important things that we've been missing over the years. I want to commend you all for your hard work. I know that it's not been easy to do. My public comment there. Is there anyone else? Hearing none, public comment is officially closed. Is there a motion to adjourn? By Doug, second by Ballman. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay, we are officially adjourned.
7:23 PM.
Thank you, Travis.
Is it a
Yes.
Travis.
Oh, you can sign it.
No, you do not need to sign something else, but it's become the new tradition here.
Ah, can I use the bathroom first?
You may.